Hey everybody from YouTube. I just got back from some night fishing out at Burke Lake. If you're in Virginia and you experience the months of July and August, it can be really hot during the day. And so sometimes night fishing can be pretty productive. And, any state-owned lake in Virginia, unless it's otherwise posted, you can fish on that lake, reservoir, or river 24 hours a day. So Burke Lake was an area I went to. I actually had success there night fishing. I caught a couple of nice bass and I caught my first snakehead. So I was going to cover some of the fishing action from the nighttime fishing at Burke Lake, and also was going to cover the experience I went through on my rigging my kayak for the night lights. I got a set of lights from Yak Lights and got them installed. And I'm going to talk about my experiences out in the field with them, the good and the bad, and overall the impact they had in terms of my ability to do some good night fishing. So, anyways, let's get to it. Folks, we are going to catch some bait. Oh dear, something just... Alright. Perfect size sunfish. Alright. Okay, that's one. Hey everybody, here's the result of fishing for bass with live bluegill. Caught a nice bass pretty quickly after I caught the bluegill on a bobber. You can use this live bluegill on a bottom rig as well for catfish. Didn't really have any luck with that, but continued to fish with a bobber for bass with the bluegill. Caught one bass, that was about it. So I decided, given how calm the water was, to start fishing the shallows with a topwater frog and connect it up with a nice snake's head, which is next. What am I supposed to do with that? Supposed to take it out. Alright, that's cool, I can do that. Check it out, folks. First time I caught one of these. Wow, pretty cool. Okay, getting toward nightfall. Jesus Christ, ran right into the fucking side of the boat. Alright. Sometimes you gotta switch colors, I guess. Okay, folks, so this is the part of the video where we're going to talk about the Yak Lights that I put on my kayak for night fishing. And the name of the company I got the lights from are actually called Yak Lights. So let's check this out of what this looks like in the dark in my garage here. And then I'm actually going to show you what this looks like when I was out at Burke Lake. So, okay, so you can see that I've got basically interior work lights here that really light this place up really nice. I got exterior lights here that basically light up the surrounding water around me where I'm fishing. And then of course I got my spotlight in front, which is actually, I can move this around. And I've got, of course, front navigation lights. And these are all on switches here. But just for a rear navigation light, I just use, when you're out in the water, you want people to see you. I just use this this Hobie flag, and this functions as my rear navigation light. So let me get the lights back on. Okay, so like I said, I'm not really going to talk to you all about how to install this. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory how to install this, but I am going to talk to you about kind of my thought process when I went through this. What I can tell you is that the internal navigation lights, the internal working lights are really good when you have to see what you're doing, when you got your rods in the kayak and you need to get out lures or whatever. What I would say, in addition to those lights, I'd also get a headlamp, right, for more precise work when you want to like tie knots or put a fishing lure on, because they're so bright. It's actually sometimes hard to see at a very close-up level. But they're awesome though for just general work lights. The exterior lights are great because it lights up the surrounding area in front of the kayak, and actually you can see your line, and you actually can see some of the shoreline depending upon how close you are, which is great. And then this front spotlight with the navigation lights, this really lights up the water. Like, I was really surprised how much light it puts out. And I'll actually show you some photographs when I was out at Burke Lake of what this looks like when it's out in the water. But I actually would use this for a couple hours for casting for bass, and I could actually light up the whole shoreline. It does chew up quite a bit of battery. Yak Lights says this runs for 6 hours, but I don't know if that's really true, because I probably got at the most an hour and a half out of it when I'm running it all the time, so I'm still trying to get some clarity on that. What's also nice about this setup is you actually have a quick disconnect here for this front spotlight, right? It just pulls off this plug that you install, right? And usually you want to put it on your hatch. And then inside here, I've got my wiring, of course, but what's cool is I got another disconnect to the main power. The wires are in here, and I actually got I've got a plate mounted here with a magnet on it, so I can take this out, I can charge it, and when it's fully charged, I just put it back down with the magnet on the plate, keeps it up out of the bottom of the kayak, and then I put the quick connect back onto the lights. Back into the battery, and I'm good to go. So that's really convenient, really nice. A couple other quick things I'll tell you about this, about the lights is, when you've got a lower end kayak and the bottom, the inside's kind of empty, it's pretty easy to put the switches where you want, put the lights where you want. Not a lot of obstacles, right? But when you get into the Hobie kayaks and like the Old Town kayaks that have rudders and skiffs and cables and stuff, you have to be conscious of where that stuff is under the kayak. You got a lot of things to maneuver around, so you have to really think through where you want to put stuff. The Hobie kayaks actually have foam blocks down here for additional buoyancy, so it made it a little bit more challenging in terms of where I was going to put the internal lights and wire those, and also where I was going to put the switches. Now let me show you the switches real quick. I had the option of actually going with a remote control that controlled all the lights, but that's just another piece of equipment I have to worry about, and I didn't want to fool with that, so I decided to go just the old-fashioned route of basic switches that you can see here, right? So you've got one switch for your exterior one switch for your interior, one for your navigation lights, and then one for the spotlight. Now in the Hobie, you know, the PA14 and the PA12, you got to be careful here because you got a cable here, right? This cable is right here underneath, and that's for your rudder. So you got to make sure you get your switches out of the way. But I put these switches right here, and actually it's very convenient. It's right underneath the seat. I could not put the switches really here on the actual hatch because I'm opening this hatch to get to my lures and stuff. So anyways, my point being is that, you know, when you install this stuff, you're really going to want to think through you know, where you're going to position your wires and where you're going to put your switches and stuff like that. But anyways, overall, I'm super pleased with it. I'm going to show you some video, and I'm going to show you some pictures of what this looks like out at Burke Lake. Okay, everybody, here's a screenshot of the interior lights on the kayak. You can see that they're super bright. They really light up the work area really well. This is another shot of the exterior lights on the kayak that really light up the perimeter of the kayak. I was amazed at how much you can see with these exterior lights. And this is actually a nighttime shot. I know it looks brighter than that, but actually it was pretty dark when this actual picture was taken. So the exterior lights are awesome, you know, in terms of having those on when you're fishing. This next shot is the spotlight in the front. I was amazed at how much light this thing puts out. It really lights up the shoreline really nice. And I was using that for a couple of hours toward the end to do some casting for bass up against the shoreline. This photo is basically when I turned the light to the side and I was paralleling the shore fishing for bass with a chatterbait near you know, near the shoreline. You can see it's like really good clarity. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll leave you with some shots here at Burke Lake, night fishing shots, and like I said, I mean, during the July and August time frames when it's super hot, it's great to get out. It's calm, it's relaxing, it's nice and cool, and sometimes the fishing action can be way better in the night during the versus during the day. So anyways, if you like the video, please subscribe, and thanks again for watching.